Most people I know were rather disappointed with Thor: The Dark World. Even people directly working on the film, like the director Alan Taylor. He was very disappointed as well. But now, Thor himself, the one and only Hemsworth, is also disappointed by the film. Maybe as time goes by, Thor: Love and Thunder will be the new The Dark World, where a lot of people hate it and don't like it because, let's be real, a lot of people didn't even like Thor Ragnarok because it was too comedic and whatever else, which honestly, if that's your take on it, that's a valid argument. Everybody has a preference. But one thing is for certain, across the board, one of the most disliked MCU films is Thor: The Dark World, and the extensive amount of coverage that's been done on that film and why it ended up being the way it was is honestly a fascinating story. But recently, in an interview with Vanity Fair, Chris Hemsworth talked a little bit about that film, and specifically how he was disappointed what they did with Thor: The Dark World. In every regards, to the way that the film was cut up, to behind the scenes things, which we've talked about, to how they dismantled the character, to how they had very little character development and how it went in different directions, to how he felt bored doing that film. And that he just felt like that it was just kind of being phoned in. There was nothing really interesting going on, that the film ultimately didn't live up to what anybody set out to make. Now again, I think he's telling the truth, We know Thor: The Dark World was supposed to be very ambitious. It was supposed to be this big, sprawling film, pushing a Game of Thrones style narrative. It was supposed to be about 30 minutes longer. Malekith was going to have way more time. It was supposed to have a darker tone. It was supposed to have less Loki. But test audiences and Marvel Studios' Ike Perlmutter, they stepped in and said, no, change many elements. This is when Kevin Feige was having that whole war. They brought in Joss Whedon to shadow direct during Age of Ultron. There was script rewrites being done literally the day of shooting, and things just ended up falling apart. And yeah, ultimately, it's one of Marvel Studios' worst regarded films, but I think that film led to where we are today. And where we are today is in a way better place for the MCU and Thor as a whole, in my opinion. So, you take a negative, you spin it, and it ultimately ended up being a positive. But it's nice to see an actor also acknowledge, hey, look, yeah, I got paid, but man, that was not a good experience.